Hey there, folks. I just finished putting this video together and realized I don't have what it takes to make a long series. Well, not a long series, just 3 or 4 more ET videos after this one you're about to watch. It turned out it was 2 hours in length, so I'm going to go into it and cut it and take out some stuff that doesn't have to be in there. There's so much to say. There always is. The next video I do is going to be the Skinwalker Ranch. I'm going to use the movie Hunt for the Skinwalker, and I'm going to explain what's going on in there and why, as well as what's going on there right now. I'm going to talk about these NSA morons that they're so putrid. Their putrid arrogance is disgusting. They really feel they're in control on this planet now that the Annunaki families have been taken out, the 7 ruling Annunaki families. And remember, Annunaki are cool, but the ones that were here running this planet were nasty. Sold most of their people into slavery here, just, you know, made them slaves, and then they would rent them out to some of the other, I would say, companies from other planets that came here to mine the earth. I will, as soon as I can, I will put together a list of the different bit movies that have important information in there for you. Some of the videos I put out that are relevant, everything, those videos I put out, people, I put them out for a reason. It's for you. It's free. It costs nothing. You pay 0 pennies. But I had a lot more I could have told you about, but I don't have it in me. I finished the video, started putting it together, cutting this up, that out, trying to make it shorter, and but this is what I actually look like, what I'm like, and it just isn't in me. So it doesn't matter. Y'all are going to wake up because it's time, and you're going to have help. The field is going to help you wake up, as well as your spirit guides. People, there's a whole new creation being created. You'll see. So anyway, excuse me, the next video will be the last ET video, the Hunt for the Skinwalker. And I would like to make a video after that. It's something more personal for me, who I am, not this body, but something more personal for my heart to all of you. Okay, let's go to the video. Well, hello again. A little calmer than my last video, and I've got a little more work to do, so I'm back in my overalls. And I've been trying to relax, to let go, to get the hell out of this body, but part of me outside knew this was going to happen. It saw it happening, it let it happen, but it kept it being anything more than what it is. I'm talking about Deanna being, her brain being, body and brain being taken over. And if it wasn't for what they were trying to do to her being stopped, she'd be more than halfway to brain dead right now. I'll go back and look at it. This is more unique for me now, and I'm much stronger than I've ever been. Now it's cranked up even more. I'm about to make a sphere for Frank Zoo, and I can tell you right now, the last one I made for anyone, the radius of the energy reaching out was 35 foot. Frank's is going to be 45 foot. That's the new standard for me while I'm still in a body to put in these spheres. It's hard for all of us to accept and understand everything. After this event happened, and after the video, I was, first off, my head was killing me. That evening, my head still hurts, but I mean, the pain was ridiculous. That's why more of myself has been put back in this body to deal with these idiots, if need be. If they didn't learn the lesson, they will soon. And after a certain amount of time, what happened will become known to everyone. I don't care. I'm here to leave the information. I'm here to leave the information to help you to do what I can, but this ain't about me. It's about all of you waking up and becoming yourself. But I want you to know what's going on with our friends and family from other planets, ETs, extraterrestrials. But the more you wake up and become strong, the more you're going to see. Dan, the last video I left you enough information for you to at least realize that there's a reason to consider what I say about what I can do. If it's just that much whetting your appetite, at least I left you something. When we're in a physical body, living in a physical world, physical dimension, we need some kind of physical proof. Proof that our minds can handle while we're here. Anyway, the CIA now is just all over the place. I saw them yesterday. Yesterday I slept almost all day, so did Frank. I was so pissed off. And I had already gone to these idiots, gone down to their facilities. The Drachk had already attacked and blown up 2 ships in their facility that there's no way to, supposedly no way to get access to. Just burn a couple holes through the ground and boom, boom. Same time, there go 2 ships. Bam. People aren't aware of the mass. You know, a lot of you that listen to me, you're ahead of the schedule, okay? Way ahead. You're awake and awakening stronger. But the mass of people on this planet, they're not aware. None of this stuff makes any sense, so it can't sound real to them. I both understand and appreciate that. It's just not going to stop me. I love everything, and everything matters to me, but I don't care what people say, other than to let me know where they are in their growth to grow into themselves, their awakening. I want all of you to understand who you are. I want you to understand the other side, the metaphysical of what's real. ETs do. They're telepathic as hell. Excuse me. The older race, the stronger the telepaths within the race. Everything is about to happen. People have been saying that for a few years, really strong now. Well, it is. You want to hear some garbage? Watch Corey Good and David Wilcock. Corey came on the field just honest and explaining things as he saw. Then David Wilcock was trying to turn him into another little Wilcock, a mini Wilcock. And you know, of course, now Corey's changed to ear. Won't even talk to him anymore. So, and that didn't just happen. At one point, I show you a Drachk recovery and attack ship, and then there's also, and you see an orb flying around it. Now, also at the same time, you see a huge ship in daylight, covered with some funky, you know, clouds. The black's on top and the white's on the bottom. When you have rain in a cloud, it's either the whole cloud or it's the bottom of it, not the top. You don't have white on the bottom and the black up top. Plus, there's a video of a that I personally took just with my phone at a Home Depot. It's nighttime. You can tell it's nighttime. Here's a cloud that's solid white. It's like, what? There's black clouds around it, but you can see them in front of the cloud and everything else, but it's nighttime. And yet this cloud is solid white. What the hell? That's not normal. That doesn't happen. Okay? And then you see all the lightning, the explosions of light on the inside going on, and some it's an electrical discharge. But it's like lightning bolts, but they go out in all directions. You don't see it go to the ground. Someone can say, well, that's heat lightning. At night in a cloud that's solid white, I mean, if you're awake and aware, you go into that cloud, you see one large ship and some small ones. That's why it's so important for you all to wake up. Also, there's another video where there's a Drachk recovery ship. It's not a recovery attack ship. It's just a recovery ship where there's like a huge ring and it's inside a cloud, and it takes a piece of cement that's got a device around it. You know, people look like, it looks like almost like a hand. That's actually is a force field generating thing that holds on. Will actually physically grab material, and the material. The material from this base, it's like 20 floors, so it's 23 floor base. And the recovery ship, it's got a big ring like this, and they have it's like a particle beam, but it's something much more advanced, and it actually cuts a hole. It'll cut a hole right in the ground, cement, doesn't matter. And they pulled out the core. They adjusted it where they needed to be. They go in there, cut through the ground, through 19 floors of solid concrete, 4 foot thick each floor. And then they start pulling it out, and this device is grabbing it. So they destroyed the base, but they protected the inner core of it, which is still wide, quite wide. You can tell by the video. And the Drachk ship takes it and puts it up. And you see it. The Drachk ship's in a cloud. The Drachk ship's in a cloud, and then you see them pull it up with this apparatus on it, where it goes straight up, and then you can see it pulling up, and then you see them once it goes into the cloud and it goes above. All of a sudden you see an energy field in there, the thickest plasma. No, it's not. It's energy. Well, call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Call it peanut butter energy. And I'm not trying to be a smartass. I'm just saying it doesn't matter. What's important here is for you to look at it and understand what's happening. And you can see where it is taking so much pressure pushing it up that this energy field is no longer straight. It's actually kind of curved and, you know, coiled and weird. That's because of the intense pressure to put it up in the air. And then it goes and disappears into a huge cloud above it. It just goes into it and disappears. The ship on the top The ship on the top is, there's Sepoian, Illyrians, a bunch of people in there. There's a few Drachk on that ship. Some of the Annunaki, remember Annunaki are good. It was the ones that were here in control that were a problem. It was so heavy, especially with this device to hold everything together, that all the floors and everything, that it took a huge Drachk recovery ship to grab this thing and push it up into the Illyrian ship. Right when it's getting into the cloud, you can see that plasma field loosen up and just start to go straight and then disappear. Because once it was finally that high up in the air and already going inside this huge ship the size of a huge city, then that ship was strong enough to pull it inside. There's another one in here where you see the Drachk recovery. Anything up, sweetie? You're being buzzed?
A lot of, like, the frequencies in the ears.
Yeah, people are looking at you. Hold on. Be right back. Excuse the interruption. The nice thing about video, you cut it off, cut it on, you put it together, there's no interruption. Deanna was feeling something, and I was looking at her, and I was seeing, it's like a MRI being done on a brain, and it was being done by the CIA. So, and then, so I went and looked right at who was doing it, and they looked right at me, and I forget what they said, like, no harm, no harm. I've said before, the FBI are pretty cool for the most part, and they're going to get fixed. The CIA are the same, but they have more problems.
Hey folks, how you doing? Jay Essex here, and this is for the FBI. Today's April 11th. Yesterday, I was talking with a friend of mine inside a Starbucks cafeteria, and we were there just a few minutes. She waited till I got set up, and then a lady came in. She was from your group, the FBI. She sat down, laid out a couple of napkins very indiscreetly. She was looking at me so hard in her head, I felt like turning around and saying, you know, you're being rude. Y'all have tracked me before in GBI. You've followed me through Costco, two of you. And the one boss dude, the guy with the balding head, you kept saying in your head, line of sight, can't get line of sight. You were freaking out, about ready to pee in your pants before you left. Would y'all quit playing games? Would you please just come out directly and say, hello, how you doing? You know, you came to the house once, that was about something else. That was entirely different. You're still trying to figure me out. Why don't you let me solve a couple cases for you, help open up your heads? Some of you folks in there, you have people working for you that have some very strong abilities. I can make them stronger, but they will be the ones that I pick. Give me the list that you want, the list of people you have working for you that you want cranked up. I'll crank them up, no cost, because these people are gonna help. But when are you people gonna open up your minds? Would you quit follow? I mean, you can follow me, but would you quit doing that and just come out and say hello? Sit down, buy me a cup of coffee. I'll make it worth your while, okay? Damn, what is it with you people?
When you get to the upper ends of these groups, that's when you have problems. Back to the video stuff. This other Drachk recovery / attack ship, they're taking a picture of it, and the guy's driving around the road. I'm gonna cut all these pieces out here and there so it's quick and short. You can see a little orb coming out on this white part of the cloud, looking at stuff. There's another one where the Illyrian, it's in the North Sea. It's from a couple of years ago. The Illyrian were taking a huge water sample out of the North Sea, and it's got some. It went deep enough to get sediment. When you look at it, it's huge. And even though it's, you know, water's heavy, and even though it's that, there's a huge cloud above it. It's an Illyrian ship. It's one of their biggest ships, biggest ships, one of them, and it's grabbing this huge sample and pulling it up inside the ship. You'll see it disappear in the clouds. When this huge sample, it's in the shape of like a stretched out diamond kind of thing, crystal. when they're starting, it starts when they're pulling it out of the water. You can see a disturbance underneath it, a black water disturbance. If you can zoom, in quick enough, if you can zoom in well enough, I gotta hurry, that's why I said quick. I know it's hard to follow me sometimes, and I know it's worse now. I'm doing what I can before this body finally drops and I'm free, and then you wait and see how I take care of things for you. No one's babysitting you, but you're going to have the creation that Lily and I knew we needed in the beginning. All right, back to the Illyrian. So, and as the you see that spot, if you look close, you can see where the water is almost like it's boiling. Not boiling, but yeah, kind of like that, like it's going up. And somebody would say, oh, that's a shadow. Take a good look at it. It's not a shadow. And then the higher, it's a crystallic type of container with seawater in it, a little bit of sediment in the bottom. When you look at it, it looks like there's more sediment on it because you're seeing it as there's a shadow in there. When you see that going up in the air, the higher up it gets in the air, underneath it, where the water was, that thing, it gets smaller and disappears. And somebody would say, well, it was a shadow. Really, look directly above it. There's a dark cloud. You think sun's got through that? Not much. The reason why it disappears is because when they put an energy field, like call it a tractor beam, it's an energy field they put around it, they'll pull it up underneath it. Like here, okay, here's the crystal. Underneath it right here, that energy to pull it up goes underneath it, and it's literally a little trail like this. So when it's pulling it up, it's pulling it's the water is showing the existence of that energy field. And then as it's getting most all the way up, going up, all of a sudden underneath where it was, there's a funky looking little black spot that's in the water where the device was, and it starts, oh shit. It starts, you see it moving slowly right towards a ship. That's right towards the fishing ship that was in the North Sea, commercial fishing ship. You see it move right towards it and then sit there, and then you know that everything shuts down. But there's nothing floating on the water. There's not a kite that's in that same controlled speed moving towards the boat, leaving a shadow like that. Excuse me. So then there's the UFO. They call it a meteor, makes a 100-degree turn over Hungary. Right when it begins, you see an orb, a ball of light move, and poof, something comes from it, like a spark comes off of it. You watch it come out of nowhere. Why? Because it's a ship. It was interdimensional. It was not allowed to be trying to moving around. This is after the Drachk put up the. This is around the time that the people being able to, ETs being allowed to move in and out of the Earth was starting to be curtailed. In 2016, early 2016, in the videos, the Drachk, they worked with the Nantids. The Drachk went to Ceres, CERES, and they put on a huge generator. And then there were other satellites going around our solar system here. And they literally put up a hard energy shield that went around Mars, outside of Mars. anything trying to get in and out without, you know, the password to get it lowered so that, you know, allowing them to go through, it died, got blown up. But this was actually created by someone else. They were trying to sneak out, and there was somebody there waiting for them, and then they got hit. And soon as their ship got hit hard enough where they couldn't maintain being in the dimension right above us. The dimension, we're in the third dimension above us, and then there's the second dimension. Second dimension is, there's heavy particulate matter in there, but that's where we live as spirit. No ships are allowed to fly around there. That's personal. That's where we live. That's our house. When we're not stuck in one of these damn flesh traps. People who call themselves psychics, you know, the ones that really are, which is honestly most of them. I'm very happy to say that. They're actually metaphysical practitioners, whether they call themselves that or not. Okay, I gotta just I want to knock the shit out of me. Excuse the cussing. Forgot where I was. Be nice if Deanna was nearby. She could tell me where I left off. Anyway. All I remember is talking about the metaphysical practitioners. I'm doing everything I can for y'all. I've just about run out. Anyway. The stronger you are with your abilities, the more of the stuff I'm telling you about you see for yourself. That's why I'm doing it. Talking with ETs, communicating, seeing them. They're multidimensional. That's why I'm doing it. So anyway, see, I told you about the Allurian. I told you about. Oh yeah, now there's another video where it's in Stuttgart, Germany. It's one of those closed-circuit television cameras they have, CCTV cameras, where they watch the traffic on the highway, and it shows you a tractor trailer going down the road, a beam of light hitting it, the trailer being picked up and turned sideways, and then of course that stops traffic everywhere. Some of the people get to, you know, go around, but when it's happening, the trailer's going up in the air, being lifted up. And then later they show you the empty truck. Excuse me, the trailer part being empty. And then right after that is like a few days after that, they show you another picture around that area where you see some cars moving through, and you know, you can see them. There's maybe a little blur to it, but all of a sudden you see something that's almost invisible. And then you see a square-looking thing lit up, a probe that's flying, chasing it fast. The reason why it looks invisible is, number one, because it's moving faster. Number two, this thing can phase in and out of dimensions. And some people got their hands on it. They shouldn't have had it, and then some other people stole it. And then the other people were trying to get it back. And that's the group that was in the TR4. The modified TR4, a strong one, and that's the beam. They put out the beam that picked the truck up, and there was U.S., Swedish, Soviets in that. I've talked about my son Bravel. He's part of this new, the new Alliance of Life military. He's got nothing to do with all these other idiots. This MK Ultra, the massive abuse of people, everything from giving them acid. Government, yeah, they don't care about you at all. Care about yourself. Become awake, alive. Find out how incredible and awesome you are. And then find folks with hearts like yours and help them wake up their abilities, or get together with other folks doing this stuff too. Anyway, so let me go ahead and show you these videos. My voice and everything sounds different. It's a little more excited, a little more energetic, a little more erratic. That's because I'm taking excerpts from a previous video. Okay, let's look at that and then we'll get back. That's where our greatest secrets are hidden, relative to not just our ET visitors, but other people and other events, especially our special military. That noise, this is Home Depot. You're hearing, they had a street sweeper out. You see the lights flashing on the inside of this cloud, and then down here too? Those little lines you see flying everywhere, that's just bugs going by. Now, this is when it got darker. I took the same picture when I came out of Home Depot. You can see it's dark outside. Look how dark it is, yet this cloud is lit up like it's a soft light bulb with little shots of energy coming in and out of it. It's not lightning, but it's some kind. It's almost like lightning. It's a light emitting discharge of energy. But see how it happened? And there was one good hard flash. It's almost like these little strobe lights, or little lights just being turned on and off real quick. Some flashing. This is not a natural phenomenon. Okay, people can say what they want. I don't care. I see ships inside there. There's 3 ships in there that are 3 decent sized ships, and then there's some smaller ones. And it's the ship that's maintaining that white cloud is actually another material. This is something that happened that's real. It happened in 2016. Next one coming up. Look. Okay, now you see how it goes out of focus and then it comes into focus? That's exactly what's going on. This is a telescope that had a camera in it. This is 2004. What's coming right here. This is 2004 in Guadalajara. Okay, and this is the night sky. Now, I wanted you to see how it's out of focus. They know something's up there. Come here. They know something's up there, and then they start focusing on it, and then they see all this. Now look at this running around. Look how they move around. That's not in unison. In unison. There's thousands, about 2,000 ETs up there in individual ships. See, there he goes out of focus. Then it's going to come back into focus. You can see the clouds and everything as you go through it. There you go. See, folks, that's real. I'm sure that some way somebody can modify it. I've seen the Superman fly through the air on movies. No, this is real. Okay. And look how they all run independently. They're all out there cruising around having a good time. They know they're being seen. They're doing this for a reason. And that's back in 2004. Damn heart. Keeps messing me up. Now, there are some other folks here that are like police that came here from really far away. It's like space police. Don't have the name for it. Don't want it. Don't care. That's basically what they're doing. They're helping to maintain in space, not here, but in space, a policing force. I don't know what to call it, okay? And people, at this point, there were other folks that were involved in the quarantine of the Earth and the neighboring area. These people tried to leave. They went interdimensional. They were a little bit farther away. They went interdimensional. There was a ship there waiting. They went into it, and they wouldn't stop. They took off, so the ship fired on them. And as soon as the ship fired on them, then, excuse me, they immediately had car problems, Starship problems. The engines took them out. They could no longer maintain interdimensional flight. So that's why out of nowhere, all of a sudden it appeared. That's happened in a lot of other videos that happen, especially around Australia, where NASA actually said, hey, there was nothing to track until it appeared there. Well, that's because it was subdimensional. And then all of a sudden, when it comes into our dimension, when it comes out of the barrier, and it's in a third dimension, then it's visible to us. They have these sensors in the house here. Okay, they have for years. And with my, and I'm happy about it. Dan and I are good with it. Anyway, so let's watch this. Now, the name of the video is Meteor Does 180 degree turn in Hungary. Now watch this thing. Okay? Now all of a sudden, whoa, 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 what's going on? You ever seen a meteor do that? Now let's watch it again and come on, let's go. There it is, getting ready to land, and then boom, the video's cut short. There's a reason for that. Look at that. That's a blown up Starship. At that point, there's 3 individuals in there. One driving, one of them in engineering, and one of them that is just walking past the med room, the med bay, whatever. So all 3 of them died. But when it first came in over here, you could see the part of one of the engines blow off. Watch there, boom. Meteors don't do that, folks. Okay. UFO at section 51. The channel over here to the right, section 51. I think it's section 51 2.0. Is what they are now or something. Anyway, July 2016, Russia, Kursk area. This is a Russian military pilot. He's in one of their jets, and he's, you know, pretty far up in the atmosphere. He's way above the clouds, and he's cruising around. And his camera catches exactly this. Watch. All right, you could hear a little bit as it went by, as the 2 ships went by, you could hear a little bit of a disturbance. Now, something else I want you to watch. When the first UFO, they're supposing ships. There's one supposing in each ship. There's room for, a few more. When it comes by, as soon as it comes in here, there's an energy wave that goes in front of it because these things are literally disrupting gravity. That's why they can fly. So as they do so, they're messing with the atmosphere, they're messing with all kinds of stuff. So that's why the camera, what it was watching and seeing, it goes blurry. And then the one behind it, it takes a little while, it goes by, wait a second, and then it has the same effect, but not as strong. Why? It's the gravity field in front that's breaking everything. Now here, with that in mind, watch this. Okay, see how that happened? Boom, right away the first one comes in, it's all broken up digital signal. Here you go. There's the first one. Watch, here you go. Boom, it's breaking up everything. Then the second one goes by. Come on, everybody. This is very slow-mo. Look at that. Take a second. Look at that ship. Folks, that is a Starship. That is a Sepoian ship. They love the circular thing. Okay? When they need to fire or do anything like that, they have equipment over here. Anyway, I'm going to show you some neat stuff on this. This happened in Stuttgart. Oh heck, I can't remember when it was. If you Google, go to YouTube and Google UFO attacks truck. UFO attacks truck in Germany. You're going to get this video. This truck here seems like a normal plane truck. It's not. It's made to carry special equipment. Now, you see how the line is, how the lane is. Look at the writing. The first thing I want you to see is this writing right here. Now, you're going to see this truck. You're going to see a beam of light hit it, and the truck's going to get picked up and moved to the side. Okay? Let me show you that first, just so you get that part of it. Boom. Look at that. Okay, now this, we're going to show you this a few more times, but this, just look at these letters. This is on a camera. This is what? CCTV, closed circuit television. This is a highway camera. Okay, now just watch the letters. We're going to do it a few times. Right now, just watch those letters. See what happens. Do you see how the letters went to hell right there? Here go the letters. Watch the letters. Wham! That happened right before this beam of light came out. It's more condensed and just located energy. But still it messed up the information on the camera. Okay, let's go again. Here we go. Look at it get picked up. Look at that. That truck's being turned sideways. A lot of people said, oh, it's faked in it. Yeah, no, they're confused or misleading. Okay, it's empty. They're like, and you see how the bed goes down? It's made to put vehicles in there? Okay, let's go. Watch it again. Watch the truck get picked up. There's the flash that distorts everything, and boom, it's slammed down. It looks like it slammed down on the side, actually. All right, now, this is a picture of two different things, all related to the same event. This right here looks like a square cube of some sort. People were wondering, is that what did this? No, this was done by a small ship. And right there, they're saying they wonder if that car that went through there was related to this. Well, yeah, it was.
Ich befinde mich hier am unteren Hengstecke-Tunnel in Stuttgart, Deutschland, wo ein seltsames Fahrzeug von der Kamera angefangen wurde.
Well, here's the actual recording, and you can see that now you're going to see the truck go up in the air and twisted and turned, and then there's the truck again with the door open. The first thing you saw was what's coming up right here is that cube going after a vehicle. You have to see it, and there you go in slow motion where you can see the car in the upper right corner of that sphere of light.
Lächerlich handeln, durch den der Fracht-LKW letzte Woche abgehoben wurde? Die Art und Weise, wie sich die beiden Zwischenfälle abgespielt haben, gibt Rätsel auf.
If you look at the truck where it's pulled up in the air on the left-hand side where that red circle is around it, it looks like a vehicle or something, or a ship. It's not. It's just a reflection. That's what I thought it was at first. This is another video that's in, I don't know how many different people have put it up there. There was a gentleman that was driving through Michoacan, I think you pronounce it, in Mexico, in the country of Mexico. Now, before I explain exactly, I'm going to tell you what it is first off. Okay, this is a Drachk ship. Drachk, D-R-A-C-H-K. It's a Drachk recovery / attack ship. Okay, now, this ring over here, you can see through it. You can actually see through it. So this is backwards to the way a cloud should normally be. This upper part is thicker, and the bottom part is lighter. Yet there's a weird color to it. There's this like orange hue in there. Now, this part over here, this is a large ship. This part over here it's got like living quarters. They make their own, have their own armaments and stuff in it. They actually produce some things, make them. But anyway, this is used, and you'll see this in another video. These things with a hole in it. The ship itself is like this. There's different, I don't know what you want to call it, energy emitting devices. There's one here, one there, one there, one there. They're spread out along the circle, and there's a ring. and the ring goes round and round and round like that, and these beams, the energy beams come out of it, can literally cut into the ground, cut through concrete, cut through anything it wants. Okay, and then inside here, there's also other devices. It forms a tractor beam. That's the strongest tractor beam there is in all creation, in all the third dimension, which is where the physical stuff happens. So you'll see that in just a minute. Now, having said that, said all this, there's little orbs. You're going to see this in another video. That actually come out sometimes and go around, look around just to check on things. They want to check the cloud cover. Okay, there's no one on the ground. They have their instrumentation up here. They see what they're doing, but they need to send a little probe out that'll run around and take a look at things. Usually they're unmanned. Sometimes they have 1 or 2 people in it. There's usually one human-sized adult is the max that can fit in there. Okay, now let's go ahead. Now look, see right here? There's an orb. Now watch it move around. Okay, it comes out, looks around, then it's hanging around there. Now watch it again. See, there it is. Okay, what's going on? So you can say, okay, that's someone with a flashlight. Yeah, I don't think so, okay? Right there. This is, it follows a somewhat similar path, but not exactly the same. Folks, this cloud is so big and it's so far up in the sky, even if you took one of those little red laser lights, as they call them, you shine it up in that cloud, you're not going to see it. Besides, the cloud would have to be, if you're going to see something, light emitting off of a cloud, that cloud is going to have a lot of water in it to reflect the light. And this is backwards. The water would be up here. But this part over here is what most of the people are seeing as they go over it, so they want them to see the wider cloud. Okay, this is literally reading, using it's a little sensor, or well, it's not a little, but it's a strong sensor orb that's picking up information of their. It's camouflage, but not the best in the world. They're not doing this to be totally hidden. That's obvious, but they're just breaking everyone into the short, just slowly. Michoacan, Mexico, UFO. Go to YouTube and UFO, Michoacan, Mexico UFO, or UFO, Michoacan, Mexico, then you'll see this played in its entirety. All I did is grab excerpts here and there. Okay, again, we're talking about Section 51. I think it's Section 51 2.0. Get some more here real quick. Okay. This is in the North Sea, November 2016. UFO and light orb filmed by Danish fishermen. This is a large fishing vehicle that's out, commercial fishing vehicle that's out in the North Sea. Excuse me. And they happen to be witness to something. Now, again, with the Drachk attack recovery ship, where that circle was, I showed you where that little orb would come out and check it, and then it did again in a similar pattern, but not quite the same. And then over here, you saw one light up actually twice, but it's hard enough to see once. And then hopefully y'all's eyes are better than mine anyway. But those little orbs were just checking. They're taking readings on the cover that they had on the vehicle. Now, what you're going to see is similar but different. Here we go. But that's pretty big. Okay, pause it for a minute. They thought this is a UFO or something. They didn't know, and then here's an orb. If you take the time and relax and look at this orb and feel into it, you're going to find out there's one person in there, and it has room for one full human adult and 2 smaller, like 2 children or 2 smaller people from other planets. But this has someone manned in it. Now, up here again, you can't see it in this video, okay, too well. You'll see it half decent later. But there's another. This is a huge Allurian ship that's up here, huge. This is a device they have that they can form almost at will to take samples. Okay, it comes from this ocean. They took a sample of the ocean, and they went down pretty low. There's some sediment down here. This looks darker, partially because of the sediment, but also because of the lighting and everything else, okay? The closer, the light being emitted is up here, so this is normally going to be a little lighter. This should be darker, but there is actual physical sediment in there. Again, this is a sample of ocean water and, you know, some of the sediment, excuse me, to check it for pollutants. The Allurian are here to help save the planet. They're here to help heal it. They're here to take over, showing us how to grow food that we're going to put in food processors, protein synthesizers, food replicators. Okay, now, before we get started, I want to show you something else here, too. See this right here? Later on, I'm going to show you, this is not a wave. Okay, you can say, well, it's a shadow. No, you're going to see it's more than a shadow. It's actually water that's moved up, that's moving upwards towards this, you know, well, holding chamber through this basket of water in a strange crystallic shape. They have this attractor beam from up here and this huge Allurian ship. It goes down over here, and then it starts to pull where it comes down. It comes out around the whole thing, but down here, where it focuses on it, is pulling up, and it has an effect of pulling up whatever's near it. There's a tail end of the energy. It's, you know, it's strong right around here, but it's already lifting away from here. Now, you're gonna see this orb here, which is gonna, in the video, you'll see it go. It goes around behind this thing, then comes up here and goes a little higher. And then once it does that, and then starts to move away to go back into this huge ship, you're going to find that all of a sudden this moves faster going up into the mothership. It'll look like it's going through the clouds, but it's not. Here, let's follow this now. And I want to show you, there's other stuff going on down here, where another submerged UFO makes you run at the ship to look at it, not to do anything. I'll show you, watch. Okay. There's our little orb, buddy. Right now it's taking readings. It's reading it. And they don't want to take up any animals in there either. They're taking a basic reading of what they're pulling out of the water, but making sure there's no life in there. A dolphin, sea turtle, anything, of course. Don't think you'd find them around there, but you see, there it goes. It's going behind it. Now it's going around. And it's going up. The whole time that this thing's moving upwards to the ship. But now it's a little slower. It's reading it. He said, well, okay, we're good to go. So now it starts going up in the ship. In the meantime, the big thing, see, picks up speed. Boom. It's picking up speed, being pulled in. It's not moving itself, it's being moved. But the guy here says, all right, we're good to go. Go ahead and pull it up. So they pull it up faster. This is a huge Allurian ship up there. They are bigger than cities. There it is. He's going around the back of it. And then he goes back up. So it's opening in the cloud where attractor beam's pulling it in. They have another name for it. Don't know. Now, just one other thing I want to show you on that. Okay, now at this point is being pulled up. Look at this. There is a small USO, unidentified submerged object. It's just the folks. This is a small ship that's under the ground that was watching everything happen, and then watched the sample leave, and then it joins them later. Now let me get back just a little bit to where you can see this forms, and it moves right towards the ship. Oops, let's see. It's gone there. Okay, let's go. There you go. Now see, you see where there's interaction here where it's being pulled up? Some people say it's shadow. Well, whatever you want to say, that's fine. It's not. Okay, this one goes up. Now, watch. Now there, watch this thing. Look at it. It's coming right towards the ship. That's not a part of a wave. It's independent, moving on its own. And then it got closer and eventually, whoops, and eventually stops. That's where it's disrupted going up. It was hard to get all this and let that go up. I don't know how to slow it down enough to show you this better, but I do what I can. The thing is, if you watch the video yourself, YouTube has a way to slow everything down. You can see it yourself. There's other stuff going on in the water. Let's leave that alone for now. Okay, see, now it goes away, and now the USO, unidentified submerged object, is coming right to the ship. Right, and it gets a little bit closer. You can see it in the video when you watch the whole thing, and then it goes down. It just kind of goes away, and then later on it takes off. And these smaller, just like the little sensor orbs, these little ships can go interdimensional. They could be under the ground and literally go interdimensional and then go back and wind up in a ship and come back out into the third dimension. Now, this next video is an important thing. This is a joint effort by the Illurian and the Drachk. They're putting down the water. There's a Drachk recovery ship. It's not the recovery attack ship, it's just the recovery ship. And it's literally just cut a lab, underground lab, out of the ground. And then it's got a special device that they put it in. It's a device that grabs it and holds it. They cut everything out, the cement and everything. They use energy fields to hold it together. Then they put this, they literally beam this device down in there. It's almost, it looks like fingers of a hand to grab it, and then there's an energy field in there that maintains its cohesion. Now, they take it and pull it into the ship, into the recovery ship. It takes a lot of power. The device that holds this thing together is incredibly heavy. And then what it's pulled out is part of an underground lab. It's got concrete and everything else in there. They were getting ready to release, the people in there were getting ready to release, or at least talking about it, threatening to, an alien virus. And that, you know, that was taken care of immediately. Anyway, NET virus, whatever. Let's go ahead and get going. This is again Secure Team 10. Okay, now here's something being pulled up into a weird cloud. And then it goes through the cloud and goes into this big cloud. See how weird that is? Now, let's do something else. Let's stop this just for a minute, if I can do this right. When the Drachk recovery ship is sucking this thing up with its tractor beam, it goes through that big circle, and then it goes up here towards the Illurian mothership. Excuse me, that Drachk recovery ship has got it's like a reverse force beam, reverse tractor beam. It forces this huge thing up into the Illurian ship, while the Illurian ship has a tractor beam on it. This Illurian ship, as huge and strong as it is, cannot handle that kind of weight. It's too much. So this Drachk energy beam, as it's pushing it up with the Illurian ship pulling it in. Remember, this Illurian ship is like big as a city, if not bigger. It depends on what city, right? So anyway, it's pushing it up. You'll see the energy twisted because it's pushing so hard, and then right when it gets near the top to make sure it goes in, the Drachk ship increases the power of its beam to push it through. You'll see the whole bottom of this thing light up to make sure it goes into the Illurian ship without a problem. and then as soon as they get it right up to it, and they know with their instrumentation, the Illyrian ship has a good grasp of it, then all of a sudden they let loose of the power. And you'll see this bottom lit up with a squiggly tail in there where you can see the power building up to push it up. And then as soon as it's getting into the clouds, it's okay. You'll see all that power just fall away. Okay, now watch. Here we go. See right here. Look how that power, look, it's pushing it. Now watch. It's getting, now look. Wham. Look at all that power. Look at all that energy. It's pushing. It lights up hard. This device is heavy. Real hard. And then all of a sudden, watch. It's up there. They know the Illyrian ship has it, so what happens? It goes away. The help isn't needed. They let loose. Here it goes again. This device is what held it together. It's inside here. Would have been nice if we could have seen that, but whatever. And this is, Tyler was doing this for people to know something about who did what, where it came from. Okay, let's see it again. That's where it gets sucked up. That's where it gets pushed up. See the beam? And then all of a sudden, boom, you can see more hit it, and wham! To get it up into this huge Illyrian ship. When you see things using your abilities, your metaphysical abilities, and then you can also, it makes sense with your eye, it's easier for you to understand this stuff. I'm a little different. I see this stuff. I just see it. I understand it. I talk to these people. It's so frustrating that the way things are set up right now, people, excuse me, are made not to trust themselves, their abilities, the people who have real strong heart energy that could be so helpful. So many of them have been beat up so hard in their life that, you know, just to make them timid so they couldn't use the heart energy. I've written books on that, the Creation series, book 1 and 2, and book number 3. Deanna's proofreading it right now, and then it's going to be edited. I expect this body to be dead before it ever comes out, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. I'm down to days now, not weeks, at least. If I saw the end of March, I'd be real upset that something else is causing issues. Anyway, I gotta go. I got stuff to do. I work for y'all, believe it or not. And there we go. Boom. See?
Well, folks, everything you looked at is real, actually happened. Lots of times, people go by what other people say in the comments. If you never want to see anything for yourself, if you always want to doubt yourself, if you want to screw yourself to the wall, listen to other people and just do whatever they say, believe whatever they tell you. When you're a blind follower, you literally bang your head into walls and trees, fall over cliffs. See something, see how you feel about it, let go, and you'll make up your mind about it later. But that's why I don't allow comments on my videos. Everyone that goes there, they might read about, you know, other people talk about it, make their comments and everything. They don't matter. I mean, are they important to me? Yes. Their comments don't matter. I'm doing what I can for you. I hope that you do more for yourself, and I know many of you are pushing this really strong. And those of you that I've talked to and it seems like it disappeared, hey, there's over 7 billion people on this planet. I do stuff off planet. I have folks out in space stations, on ships, on other planets get mad at me because I don't talk to them. I'm doing what I can. I wanted to be left alone to die to get the hell out of here. I can't do what I want to do for you while I'm stuck here. And it's just day by day. Once I'm gone, day by day, things are just going to start getting better. First, there's going to be some calamity. Okay, folks, I'm going to shut up this time, I hope. Love you. Take care. Fracking heart. And take care of yourself. Okay? Let's feed ourselves good stuff. Don't do drugs. Don't do that to you. It'll get you nowhere.
And those of you that think you need to take DMT or stuff, that's what the shamans do. Hey, that's their problem. Don't let it be yours. Take care.